So after adding the information, now it's time we go and start showing this information in our swipe card in our profile. So real quick, with that we can simply close this database. Right now this information is just static or not real. Also this swipe, the users we are swiping are not really coming from our database. So now it's time we actually start looping users gotten from our database. So with that we can go back here. Okay, let's close everything, close all, close that too. Okay, type Command P, let's search for swiper, the Livewire component. In here we're going to pass the users from our database. Let's just do this for now. User model, okay, let's say limit, and by the way the limit should always be after you declare the user. You cannot chain it. It will not work in my experience, so make sure the limit comes first. Get, we're going to limit this by 10. We don't want to get unlimited users. Now let's pass this user to our blade. You can just create a comma, their users as users. Alright, now this information is available in our blade, so let's open our swiper, the blade file. In here, the first thing I'm going to do, before we were using the for, now let's use the for each so we can loop through our users. In here, just remove this for, remove the for. Okay, let's type for each users as user. But let's cut this, put it under there so we can loop through this, this item. In here, let's go ahead and actually create as $I pointer to the user, so we can make use of this I as a key. Right now, if we go and check, refresh, and they're still working fine. We have like 5-10 users being looped right now. Yeah. Now let's go ahead and actually start updating our information. Now in here, first thing I'm gonna do, now I'm going to update our swipe card with personal details. So you go to swipe card, and you go to information and actions, here the personal details. In here, first of all, I'm going to change from fake name to username. In here, remove this lorem ipsum. Okay, let's add user about. Yeah. And then here in the name, also add user age just after the name, so we can add actually the correct age. Alright, now let's go down outside the swipe card. Let's close the swipe card. Now let's go to our profile card so we can update the personal information to here. So now in here, we're also going to change the name from fake to username. The age, also going to do user age. The profession, user profession. And then the height, if the height is empty, you don't want to just show the centimeter like that. Let's check if the height exists. So here we can simply say user height question mark. If it exists, then we're gonna get the user height, the dot, leave a space centimeters, or else nothing. And down here also gonna do the same. So here we can say user city question mark, and I'm gonna get the user city, the dot. Actually here it's supposed to be in the beginning. Here we're gonna say lives in, leave a space there, here put a dot, lives in this city. If it's empty, then just show nothing. Now here in the bio, let's update the bio too. Right here, select a line, press Command L, delete it, and let's say user about. Right now, let's go ahead and check this out. Now if we refresh, you see that the name here is the same as Professor Demetrius. The age is 85, and if I go to the profile, You see, I find the same name here, so which means it's working fine. Age 85, he lives in Spain. There's no height because it's empty, so we checked here. If the height is empty, then it show nothing. All right, the profession is empty to show nothing too. So here it's working quite all right, and the biography, the about is the same. Now let's go ahead and work on this one, looking for new friends, languages, and basics. Now, if you go down to relationship goals right here, for the relationship goals, we can simply change this one, looking for this value here. So in here, we're going to say user relationship goals. Simple as that. Now if we check out this user, you see that we have this relationship goal. If I swipe right for this user, it's also different. Short-term fun. If I swipe right, also different. So it's different in relationship goals, but now let's just format this so it does not show this underscore. Right, so for that, we can simply, let's cut this like that. Let's use some PHP here typed str for string. They replace, the first variable is what we're going to replace. Want the underscore, comma. Here with a space, make sure you type at least space here inside to leave a space. And then the third argument is going to be the actual string. It's going to replace every underscore with an empty space. So here, make sure you leave a space inside. After that, let's also do capitalize. Now if we go and check, refresh that. Oh, here actually I'm going to get an error saying it applies in ungiven. Alright, since this is a class, this is cast to a class. Here, make sure that in the end you type value to get the actual value, not the class. Now if you go and refresh, yeah, the error is gone. So down here, if you click on the profile, you go. Now it's showing something much better formatted, still figuring it out. If I scroll again, short-term fun, yeah. If I scroll again, new friends, that's good. Next, let's work on these languages to check out which languages the user we're currently viewing knows. Here, languages I know. So actually here, let's check if the user has languages first of all, because we don't want to show, if the languages is empty, we don't want to show this one. So I'm going to check if the user languages is not empty. Here, put this down there so we can wrap this element inside this if statement. And then in here in the list, we can simply loop through the languages. Inside the UL, we create at for each user languages as language. Now we don't need all these three, so just delete those, just copy one, or rather cut it, paste it inside the for each loop, so we can assign this language name. And make sure you add capitalize letters. Now if you go here, let me go to the profile. See, this user knows two languages, Chinese and Filipino. If I go to the next user, I check their profile. This one knows 4 languages, Chinese, English, Finnish, and Turkish. And I hope I spelled all these languages correctly. If you go again, check out the other user. This one only knows 1 language. So this is working fine. Now let's do the same for this basics. Let's check at if the user basics. Let's also wrap this element inside this if statement. So if it's empty, then it show nothing. Here, let's create a for each user basics as basic. Here, copy one of these elements, or cut them rather. Here, type here basic name. Okay, now let's delete these others. And let's go ahead and check it out. All right, let's check out the profile. And here, if I go, you see now the basics are showing here. I want children, Taras. Go to the next user, check out their profile. You see saying I want children in Taras, like the same information. All right, but now it's working as you can see. Now the lifestyle here, for example, is going to be the same concept. So if you want to do a little bit of overkill on the pivot tables, you can go ahead and create a lifestyle table and a pivot table, but it is just the same concept with this basic and the languages model. Yeah, so I think for now this is it. If you refresh, now we're able to see real user information like that. So yeah, thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.